I am Dianne Wade. I'm from Southern Nazarene University, which is in a small suburb of Oklahoma City, Bethany, Oklahoma. And I'm here at the NULC conference to present my summer research paper, Before Barbie, Representations of Doll Culture in 19th Century Children's Literature. I'm part of the McNair program at my own school, and the University of Delaware's McNair program hosted me over this past summer, and I did work with Dr. Siobhan Carroll at the university. I'm looking at thing theory and material culture in the 19th century and how that affected girlhood and play culture with the rise of consumerism and the Second Industrial Revolution, and how the politics of the adult world started to affect the play of childhood. Literature is this wonderful way of looking at the world, and you have this window into the past, and how that past narrative is still affecting the current narrative of society. So with this paper, what I was looking at, and why it's titled Before Barbie, is you see this foundation between gendered behaviors that were taught, but within the narrative, it's supposed to be, oh, girls innately act maternal. When if you actually look at what was happening in history and how politics and the subtext of ads and ad agencies, they were making maternity part of girlhood. Then you come into the early 21st century and you have Barbie now, and Barbie's supposed to be what a woman should look like. This is how they should dress, always poised, always polished. And that started so long ago. And that's something that the literature of A Little Princess, the novel that I specifically was researching, showed. It has this main character who is the perfect little girl who's going to grow up to be the perfect high society matriarch. But the novel is trying to show that that's just how a young girl is, when in reality, everybody is an individual and not everybody fits a box. This box started to be created within that 19th century creation of the middle class, wealthy class families. Then you get into the 21st century, and now we believe that that's just the way things are. That's just how the world works, when in reality, that was a construction that was made. And I think literature has a way of showing us that things that we think of now that are just an accepted tradition within the world, that has a history, and that history was created long ago. And there was a narrative at one point that now directly influences the narrative of now. The response to my paper has actually been very uplifting because it is such a small topic that, I mean, nobody would think about, doll culture and children's literature. That's not even words that a whole lot of people would know except for children's lit. But once I start talking about it, I've noticed that it's one of those things that it's kind of in the back of your mind, and it takes somebody talking about it explicitly that you start to realize it. So I've had people bring up, the way Barbie has changed over the last 5 years to be more inclusive and less political and gendered, and the same with the American Girl doll. And that's something that I really like to see within my audience, is the fact that they are thinking about this. It just takes somebody to approach the topic first, and then there's a dialogue. And it's like that light bulb moment of, oh, and that's something that I really enjoy.